Good evening, I'm the Wandering Beekeeper. Welcome to this ongoing series of videos traveling the Northwestern Bee Railway. This is in a shared world online. The chunk loading will not always be terribly smooth. If you've watched this far, you already know this. This is a 1.18.1 survival world, peaceful difficulty, originally built in 1.16.5, so you won't see any of the fancy cave biomes. We are leaving Chalet Station and heading for Varttina, which is a second in a sort of Scandinavian architecture attempt. There came a point where I just couldn't be bothered to harvest the portals. I really didn't need more obsidian. Wasn't doing anything that required that much of it. Alright, so here we've got a broad veranda thing going on here. We go in and we have our big open room, and then we have a ladder up to a very tiny little loft. This is a lower ceiling. Feels more like an attic. I lived in my grandmother's attic for a while, and I actually really liked the low ceilings. That bed is usable if you pop it, if you click on it and sleep in it, it works. When you wake up, you'll find yourself standing out here next to the chest. And of course the light is all the way across the room, so you have to blow out the lantern and then cross the room in the dark. That's how it goes, isn't it? Let's move on to Yarlaka-Ana. Yarlaka-Ana has a specific meaning in the Kaurna language. It's the what remains of the languages of the Witomiona and other peoples in the region of so-called Adelaide, and is what the survivors have been able to piece back together of their culture and language as so-called Australia has begun to understand the level of what's been done. This is a bright and cheerful place, however. I'm all done up with the patterns don't always quite go the same way. Deal with it. Local acacia, all in the posts and the veranda and so forth. Sort of trying to keep in with the feel of the savanna biome and that sort of thing. Let's go on to one more, and yes, it's as kitschy as it sounds. If you were an American in the 1950s, 1960s, into the 70s, you probably recognized the design of this place. Stuckeys was ubiquitous. They were at every major off-ramp, a lot of the minor ones. They had gas and they had snacks and they had the famous Stuckeys salted nut roll. It was a caramel, kind of like a payday bar. Caramel nut roll. My father and I were addicted to the things. To the Stuckeys pecan logs and nut rolls. My mother thought we were kind of gross for it, but she didn't get into that sort of thing. So yeah, this is definitely, a childhood memory I probably should have repressed. And we have a trading point here open. If the villagers want to come trade, or I want to go trade with them, cool. But I decided not to put it in the middle of the village. It seemed like it would be a little rude. I have done that in other places, and yeah, it does feel a imperialistic. Alrighty. Rainbow Tower next stop. That's gonna be a fun one, but you're gonna have to wait until the next video because we have traveled about as far as we really ought to in a single trip. 3 stations is doing quite well. Thank you for bearing with me and joining me on this journey, and we'll see you next time. Until then, I'm the Wandering Beekeeper. Thank you very much.